Hello and welcome to the Robo Samurai channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you a review of the Transformers Legacy Wreck and Rule Collection Autobot Springer. And this is, yes, an Amazon exclusive. Here is the figure, there is the box. The box looks pretty cool, and it makes up an overall part of a bigger picture when you buy all of the things, all of the pieces from this collection. There's the back of the box, and then here is the sides and everything else. So all right, well, it looks really great. Let's go ahead and take a look at the figure itself, and let me zoom out a little bit. And yeah, so what we're dealing with here is this is the Transformers I believe it was called the War for Cybertron trilogy. This is a repaint of the same one. It's repainted in his original G1 toy colors, and that's what we're looking at. And to take a look and see what the original one looks like, well, I happen to have it right here. Yeah. So there it is. And yeah, this one's not for sale anymore unless you find it on eBay for some exorbitant prices. So yeah, so that'll be something that you might want to consider buying this figure for. Outside of that, yep, and then here it is with the new RC from the Studio series. You can kind of get a sense for how this sizes up, and then here it is next to the Optimus Prime. The Optimus Prime. Let's put him in the background there. Yep. So there we go. We got all those guys out of the way. So now there have been some reports that he has loose knees, and I don't think he has loose knees. All of his joints are pretty tight. His knees don't tab in all the way, but it's still doable for poses. So if you can kind of do this number right here, and he stands pretty stable. So yeah, and so we've got, yep, he's got the Wrecker Autobot symbol here, and it's done kind of in a metallic bluish color. That's pretty cool. And then you can kind of see his face right there in this face sculpt. So, yeah, looking really good here. So he has bicep swivel. He's got bend at the elbow, about that much. Does his wrist swivel? Yeah, his wrist swivel too. So really good stuff, you know. With that, yeah, he's got some paint here, there. He's got a little bit of paint here and here. A little bit of paint here, and of course this is painted yellow, like the original G1 toy. Yeah, not too much else. If you compare him to the original Siege figure, you can see that there's a lot more paint. Plus, they also have this kind of weathering effect on him. So, yeah, and I've never taken that off or anything like that. There are instructions if you get this figure, you know, to take off that kind of weathering. So, yeah, that's what we got on that one. Oh, yeah, I did forget to mention some paint here, some gray paint. It's hard to see, but there's also a little bit of red paint there. Gray here, a little bit of gray there. All in all, pretty nice looking figure. He has waist rotation, but only that far on both sides. Actually, maybe a little bit less on this side. Let's see here. If you move the hips out of the way, yeah, even with moving the hips out of the way, he's still that way. So he can stretch his arms out about that much. And they will go backwards and forwards just fine. They will not go all the way around, though. He's got, I think these are universal hips, so they will do the whole stretch like that, and then he will do the splits like that. So, yeah, cool stuff. Whoops. Yep, so there we go. Very, very kind of cool figure setup here. So, yeah, and with that, I think the best thing to do is to just start transforming this guy. And before I do that, yep, so one thing I wanted to talk about was his accessories, and he has this blade thing here, which is part of his helicopter. And when you take this apart, you pull out two swords. And the swords fit in his hands just right, like that. So you can have two swords. Pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, nice. And then there's this thing here. We'll talk about that in a second. It doesn't do too much besides sit there. But it also has these two guns here, and these two guns can be also held by him. Also, you can combine them, so you can do this number here, and then what the instructions say you can also do, and this will come relevant when we transform him to his car mode, is you can take these, you can attach the blades on the side. There's a little slot right there on each of these swords, and they tab into the back side of this gun. And then you can kind of do that number, and then you have like a gun sword thing, kind of. Yeah, they're a little bit bent, so if I turn it this way, there we go. And then it also says to mount this on top of this, which makes the whole thing kind of spin around on this base, which in car mode we'll take a look at that as well. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're dealing with when it comes to this mode here. I don't think that there's anything else that is mentioned by the instructions. However, let's get to transforming him into his car mode. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift up this here. And we're going to pull this out and then lift it up like this. We're also going to do the same thing in the back here. Just going to kind of pull this out. The next thing we want to do is we're going to pull these arms down. So they're on like hinges like this. So just kind of pull them gently down and straighten them out on the side. There we go. We're going to take these here. Let's open up this and open up that. So there's a flap. Open up the flap in the back of where the wheel is. Open that as well. And then we'll have those sitting there. And now, turn the head around. We're going to have that set like that. And then we're going to take these here, and we're going to collapse these all into each other. So, and then there is a part that kind of fits in the back of his hand. I'm going to put that there. Same thing on the other side. So we're going to stretch those and drop them like that. So we kind of have something that's like this. Now open up this chest here a little bit, and then we're going to take this and lift it up and over like so. And then we're going to close it on top here, kind of. All right, we're going to kind of close that up like that. And then we're going to open up these panels here. Be careful, they are only on friction joints. So open up those two panels like that. All right, so now we're going to take this here. Yeah, we'll just leave that there for the moment. Let's see here. All right, so now we want to, actually we do, we want to take this here, make sure that this is kind of pushed down here so that these line up, and then these two tabs will peg into two small holes right here. So I'm going to go on ahead and do that. There we go. We got those two sitting there. Now, all right, so we're good with that, and we're good with these. So do I need anything else with this? Nope. Okay, so we're going to concentrate a little bit on the legs first here. So let's open up these panels here. And those feet will kind of move out of the way a little bit. Oops, don't let them untab themselves. And then we're going to open up, we're going to take these wings out. Okay, and then we're going to close them back up. That's it. Do the same thing here. Take this, flip it out, and then close it back up. All right, so now we got those sitting there. And, all right, so the next thing we want to do is we're going to take these feet and we're going to push them back here. Actually, we're going to push them forward here. By the way, if I didn't tell you, there is an ankle rocker here, and they kind of got a bit of tilt. But right now we're going to use that like this, okay? Pull them forward thusly, okay? And then I'm going to take these wheel wells here. We're going to flip them forward. So we're going to take this joint here, turn it this way, and collapse it on top of the leg, I think. When I say think, I think. I don't want to push and force things, that's why. Okay, so the same thing here. We'll just do it from above. We'll rotate it on that joint, and then it should fall right into place. Excellent. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to push this. See, there's a joint right here. We're going to close that joint up. Push that against that. So let's see if we can get that kind of folded back here. This is not going to be the easiest of things, I can tell. So push this here. What we want to do is kind of make sure that that kind of pushes back. This whole assembly will push back. And if you look here, you'll see now that this gray peg is now slanted backwards, okay? And part of the point of that is so that we can kind of align all of this together here, okay? And we want to snap these together, kind of lean them in like this and then snap them in like that. Don't want to force that too much. And now we'll take this, and then we're going to take the arms, and we're going to collapse them. Oops, let's see here if we got this right. Okay, we want to make sure that these are pulled forward like that, so that this tab is now, this black tab is sticking out. We're going to now push that tab into this slot right here, and then close that like that. Do the same thing on the other side. So pull it all the way up. Make sure that it's kind of parallel and pushed in there, and then close that up like that. Okay? And then we're going to take this and collapse it down. So there's actually two tabs that go into those slots right there. Go on ahead and collapse that in. Give that a tight squeeze. And oops, make sure that everything is kind of tightened together here. And there we have Autobot Springer in his automobile alt mode. And he looks great. I like this one. What we're supposed to do is we're supposed to take this and stick it on the top here. If you want, you can do that. And then he has like a gun. Maybe he's a tank. Yeah, he rolls somewhat all right. So as long as everything's lined up and looking good, he will roll just fine. So so there we go. You got that going on there. And yeah, looks pretty good. So let's go on and transform him into his third mode, and that'll be his helicopter mode. Okay, so let's take this thing off here. By the way, you didn't notice anything really amazing about this mode. But you want to make sure everything kind of, if you're in that mode, make sure everything's kind of collapsed together and tabbed together. Anyway, so there we go. Now, we're going to now remove this and pull this up so that it's up above on that hinge. Okay. And then we're going to pull these out again. Okay. All right. And we're going to just pull them off to the side. And then what we want to do is we're going to play around with these here. So untab the back of these from the back of the fists. And then we're going to pull this open here. And then we're going to pull it out. And then we're going to rotate it like that. And then we're going to make sure that everything lines up properly and close it back. Just like that. So that's what we should be looking at. Let's do the same thing on this side, maybe a little differently. Not really. So we're going to open this, open that up, and then turn this, pull it out, turn it all the way around, and then collapse everything back together. Okay? There we go. So now we've got wings. Wings of some kind. All right, so now we've got that out of the way. We are going to flip this guy over. Oops, let's not. Let's keep these. These kind of have to be out like this. So I'll show you more about that later here. So split these, and then again split them so that you kind of split it like that, because these are both on really hard hinges here. So I want to split those out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip out the insides here. So we're going to take this and then open it up. Whoa. Keep that all together. But open this up like that. Do the same thing on this side. Open up this and have it out like that. Yes. All right. So now we've got this situation going on. All right. And then we're going to take these, if we move these out of the way, these hips, we're going to pull together, and then we're going to pull them down so that we stretch them out, okay? Okay, let's see here. Yeah. All right, so if we look at it from the underside, you can kind of see it, how you want to get this done. So like this, okay? So now he has really long backs here. So, all right. And now that we got that, we are going to rotate these here around. So rotate right here so that the wheels are now facing on the inside. See? Just like that. And then we're going to take the front here, I think. Let's see here. Pull these down, right? Like this. And then we're going to pull this. Let's see. Oops, we don't want to collapse these. Not collapsing them yet. Okay, so I believe what we're going to do next is we're going to turn these over. So yeah, we're going back kind of in this direction here. Like that. And now we're going to take these here, the wheels, and we're going to pull them out like that. Same thing on this side. Pull this wheel out like that. Then we're going to kind of collapse this, and we're going to tab these together. Tab them together in the back like this, and then tab it here. There's a tab right between these two green slots. Ooh, actually, this didn't line up the way I wanted it to. So let's see here. Make sure that we're lined up properly. There, I believe. Let me double check real quick. And yeah, that looks good. That looks really good. Yep. So we want these screw holes to be aligned kind of like this. So we want this straightened up like that. All right, so now we have all this sitting here. Let's see here. I think the next step is to make sure that this here, we want to push this forward. So remember this post right here? This post that I showed you earlier, and see if I can't focus on that. There we go. We want this now to be pushed up forward for this part. And let's see if I can't get that here. There we go. So you see how that post is? You can kind of see it more clearly now. Okay, so we want that forward for the next part. This is all put together here, and then those are like that. So good going there. And now we're going to pull these. Let's see here. I think, yeah, we want these together here. And I believe this is the way we're supposed to have it. No, maybe. Oh, actually, I think we're supposed to flip these in. Yeah, so these have to go in like that. All right, now these here, these arms, okay, we're going to take and we're going to pull them here. And we want them to kind of snap in place. So I think we want them to snap in place here. So this is the real tricky part. And we have to kind of watch it. So let's see here. Oh yeah, that's good stuff here. What we want is we want these mounted so that these pegs, these black pegs, fit into those slots right there. Let's see here. Is that right? Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm going to push this back. I think this works better this way. Okay. Okay. Now that's locked in place. All right. So now we want these here. Fold them up so that they're kind of like this. Yes. And you want this. See this here? This tab right here will go into this side here. So we want to make sure that I think that lines up. No, not this one, that one, sorry. There's 2 pegs, so you want this on the back peg, closer to his wrist there. Same thing on this side. So make sure that this, this monster of a joint is kind of pegged in there. So kind of snap that together right here. Okay, there we go. And then we want to go on ahead and we'll close these 2 wings up. They were like this. Little tiny peg, little tiny slot. Close that together. And then go on ahead and then collapse this together. All right, and then we'll set that down there. We'll take apart the gun, okay? And then we'll put this right on. Actually, we can assemble it like this. Put the 2 swords on this either side of this. And then put this down on top of that. And there you have Springer in his helicopter mode. And yeah, he looks really good, I'd have to say. I haven't have any really bad problems with the joints or anything like that. Yeah, and this is, I really enjoy this. So I think if you wanted to, you could put the guns here. There's multiple 5mm peg ports on this, so you can put them wherever you want to. So, yeah. And there's what it looks like from the underside. Kind of a mess, but not too bad. But yeah, there's what we got going on. So, what do I think of this? Well, I think this is great, and I think it's just as good as the original version of this, the original colors of this mold. It is the G1 toy colors. You do get the Wrecker symbol on there. And by the way, you do get another part to the Wrecker's hammer. So, yeah, you can always put that together if you collect the entire set. So, there you go. So, yeah, I would say that this is definitely a good buy. I have no problems with really loose joints on this. I think this is pretty decent, and I like the way this toy looks. It's pretty cool. So, so that's what we got going on here. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I will talk to you guys next time.